I, American patriot by the grace of God, do solemnly swear to support and defend the Constitution of the United States of America from enemies foreign and especially domestic. I, Douglas Ducote, an American patriot by the grace of God, do solemnly swear to support and defend the Constitution of the United States of America from enemies foreign and especially domestic. Say it with me. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Hello, American Patriots, and welcome to another episode of the Douglas Ducote Show, the Christmas edition. You had many places you could be tonight, but you chose to be here with me, and for that, I am forever grateful. So, tomorrow, Christmas Eve, Santa Claus is coming tomorrow night, and hopefully you all have been good and not naughty. But what makes this a Christmas special for Douglas Ducote? Can anybody take a wild stab at that? I tell you what it does. One, with all of the horrible news that's happening across not just America, but planet Earth. I mean, I could do a news show for 10 hours every single day about all the horrible things happening. Everybody's pretty much aware of that. So what we're going to do tonight is I'm going to share with you some not so horrible news stories. As a matter of fact, some things that should make you feel good at Christmas time. And the other thing I'm going to do is I'm going to refrain from saying any bad words. I'm sorry, that was my wife. She found that to be funny. The other thing I'm going to do after we go over these news stories is she's going to come on and the two of us are going to chat with you, and we're going to talk about Christmas stuff in the past and so forth. And I didn't say now.
Okay, tell me when.
I'll tell you when, but it ain't now.
Okay.
All righty, so let's get right into this. An act of kindness at a family restaurant in West Virginia has captured the attention of many on social media. An elderly man wandered into the Boston Beanery restaurant in Morgantown. Sensing something was wrong, the host summoned over the owner, Angie Way Blankenship. She asked if he was here with somebody or how he got here, but he could not remember. She asked him if he knew his name, and he said, "Of course I know my name," but he couldn't answer her his name. She reached out, gave him a meal, gave him a soft drink, and contacted the Morgantown Police Department. An officer came to assist and sat with the man for over an hour, talking to him, and eventually finding out he had a son, and they were able to find out who the son was and contact him, and the son was able to come pick him up. I wish we would hear more stories like this in the media about the kindness of our local businesses, and especially about our dedicated local police officers. His son had arrived and took him safely home. Blankenship spoke with a local news station about the incident. I said, "It's okay, honey. We're going to take care of you. We're sure there is somebody out there that is looking for you. We're going to find out where you're supposed to be." I said, "Just sit here and I'll get you something to eat and something to drink," she told WDTV. Blankenship said the family was grateful for her kindness and the time spent helping this man. "It takes a village," she said. "We need each other. That's one thing. I didn't do anything. I was just here," she said. Miss Blankenship, thank you for being there. Had it not been for your kindness, who knows where this man could have ended up or what could have happened to him. And to the local police department there in Morgantown, Virginia, thank you for your service. You are a blessing. Every now and then we hear about someone doing an amazing feat, uh, like saving a life. But this next story, you don't typically hear this about an 11-year-old boy. 11-year-old boy in Muskogee, Oklahoma, helped save the lives of two people in one day. Muskogee Public School officials say David Johnson used the Hemlock maneuver on another student who was choking last week. Later that day, David rescued a woman from a burning house. Representatives of the Muskogee Police Department, Muskogee County Sheriff's Office, and the Muskogee Public Schools honored the young hero Tuesday night at the Muskogee Board of Education meeting. David was named an honorary member of the Police and Sheriff's Department. Principal Latresa Doxkin recalled the first incident that earned David the honor. She said a student was trying to fill his water bottle and trying to loosen the cap with his mouth, and the cap slipped down his throat. The choking student stumbled into a nearby classroom where David just happened to be. Dayton immediately sprinted over and did the Hemlock maneuver. From the account of the witness, when he did, the bottle cap popped out. He is also, that evening, it was mentioned by the principal that he, when he grows up, wants to be an EMT. So that's great news. So he got to put that desire into action and immediately saved that young man. That same day after school, David saw a house fire and ran to help a woman with a walker get out of the house. He said, I thought, oh, she's not moving fast enough and she's going to die. So I ran across the street and helped her and brought her to safety. 11-year-old boy. Sir, thank you for your act of kindness. And this time of the year, we need more of it, don't we? 18 of the 30 Spanish patients which incurred blood cancer are in complete remission. And a few more have seen the cancer progression stop in its tracks, thanks to a new and much cheaper treatment option. Using a patient's own white blood cells, doctors reprogram them to better identify and attack the cancerous cells, which cause multiple types of melanoma. The treatment especially saved the lives of the 18 patients, all of whom had earlier stages of treatment like bone marrow transplants or chemotherapy had failed, after which the survival rate becomes very, very low, according to the Spanish doctor leading the procedure. The doctor was a hematologist, Carlos Fernandez de la Hera, who announced the good news on Friday. Even though it is an incurable disease, achieving complete remission has a significant impact on patient prognosis. It is directly linked to greater survival. Multiple melanoma is the incurable second most common blood cancer, and it begins in the bone marrow where immature blood cells minute into cancerous forms of white blood cells called plasma cells. The treatment is called ARI 002H, and it's part of a new family of cancer fighting called CAR-T, C-A-R-T, which stands for chimeric antigen receptor T cells, but holds the honor of the first European treatment to receive approval for use by the regulatory agency. Developed at the state-run hospital in Barcelona, CAR-T is estimated to cost approximately $102,000, but a third of the cost from similar CRT or CART options comes out of the companies Bristol Myers, Squibb, and Janssen's, as well as demonstrating a 60% remission rate. 75% of the 30 patients showed no progression of the disease 1 full year later.
Awesome.
So we are at cutting edge across the pond for fighting cancer, which is a great thing. Now,
I would like to see them move that over here and have our FDA look at it and see if maybe, I don't know, they would approve to treat patients here in America with it. Wouldn't that be a wonderful thing? In one Oregon town, kids at a local school noticed a particular noisy and brave crow seemed dead set on getting into the classroom. A crow, a black bird. Yeah, that crow. Not the counting crows, not the music. Sure enough, finding an open window at Allendale Elementary School, the bird made its way into the 5th grade classroom and started helping himself to some snacks, all the while adoring the attention from the kids and being quite friendly. Oh, and it began talking, according to local reporting from the Oregonian. The crow was actually a rescue bird that was all grown up and had lived with a family in the community for years, since it was a baby. None of the students or teachers knew that, however, and its calm demeanor and vocabulary left them stunned. It would say, "What's up?" and "I'm fine." And, oh, a lot of swear words, said education assistant Norma Lamel. It was like a parrot. It was the wildest thing, she said. Then it became quite the production when all the grades came to see the attempt of animal control trying to remove the crow from the classroom. Even though one officer fed the bird from his hand, ultimately they left the school empty-handed. The principal said they decided it was not in their jurisdiction to catch the crow. Little did the school and grandpas realize that it was just the latest chapter in a strange talking crow story, which had begun weeks earlier. Returning from an out-of-town Thanksgiving this year, residents Janelle Shatstruck was devastated to find her bird missing. Cosmo had escaped. Cosmo was the crow's name. And then had been captured by a neighbor who eventually didn't like the teasing, which Cosmo had a repetition of doing to those it was uncomfortable around. So she risked the crow off to an animal sanctuary, not realizing, however, that the bird was somebody's pet. The sanctuary released it back into the wild. That's when he found his way to the school to hang out. The principal's daughter, Dauphine, admitted that the crowed noise a lot of words. The crow knows a lot of words, over 50 now. Cosmo also loves children and frequents a child daycare center in their house. As soon as he found out what time the kids got there, he'd go over there and hang out, she said. Sometimes he does use profanity, though. Over the years, reports of talking crows have caused quite a stir around town. At a Planet Fitness, where the owner was working out, he would sit on top of the building talking to people who were going in. Back in the school, the crow's owner swooped in to relieve Allendale Elementary of their new mascot. After learning the news that their bird was spotted, Cosmo loved those school children so much, it took 45 minutes of temptation with sardines to get the bird into custody once again. That's a great story. A crow, who knew? So this next story should make Congresswoman Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, aka AOC, very, very happy. And it's actually a good thing. A United Airlines flight from Chicago O'Hare to DC Reagan National is nothing to write home about. But the 100 people who were aboard United's recent Wednesday service were part of aviation history. They were the first passengers to fly in an aircraft powered by 100% plant-based jet fuel designed by Variant. The variant from agricultural waste like corn cobs and stalks is how they made this solution up. Current legislation allows for aircraft to be powered only with 50% renewable fuels. And After completing a test flight without passengers in October, Variant and United were allowed to fill up entirely with the biofuel. Performance indicators, according to the company, were the same as with fossil fuels. One of the major advantages with Variant is the chemical similars to petroleum-based jet fuels in terms of the boiling point, thermal stability, and freezing points. This, the company hopes, means that biofuels can simply replace fossil fuels, but without replacing any of the infrastructure. Well, that might not make AOC happy. Today's flight is not only a significant milestone for efforts to decarbonize our industry, but when combined with a surge in commitments to produce and purchase alternative fuels, we're demonstrating the impact that companies can join together and play a role in addressing the biggest challenge of our time, said United CEO Scott Kirby in a Wednesday statement. Aviation is sometimes quoted as being 2% to 2.5% of global greenhouse gas emissions. Others have quoted it at about 5%. If one accounts for CO2 equivalents, and others put it at 3.5, known as synthetic aromatic kerosene. Variant fuel turns plant sugars into oil through a multi-step patent process that reduces greenhouse gas emissions when burned in a flight by around 50%. It's still in the research and development phase, funded mainly by Delaware's Marathon Petroleum as a way of transitioning to a more carbon neutral production strategy. United Airlines will be partnering with Vent as it hopes to reach carbon neutrality by 2050. And with their support, Variant hopes to announce commercializing of the fuel in the coming months. Can you imagine that? Being able to run everything that we run off of gasoline right now, or JP4 jet fuel, running off of plant-based fuels. Spinach. That's great.
You only thought Popeye was strong.
Yeah, Popeye was strong.
I know, but
It is not your time yet to come into the show. Can you just wait over there for a minute? Relax.
nobody puts baby in the corner.
No. A Good Samaritan in Ohio received an award Thursday after he answered an 87-year-old woman's call for help at a Kroger grocery store when a man snatched her purse in the checkout line earlier this month. Deshaun Presley jumped into action on December 5th and chased the purse snatcher out of the store in Lemon Township and into the parking lot. Security footage shows Presley taking down the suspect in the parking lot and making a citizen's arrest. For his historic efforts, Butler County Sheriff Richard Jones presented Presley with the Citizens Award on Thursday. Presley was also reunited with Pat Goins, the woman whose purse was snatched. I'm glad that he received this honor because he is my hero, she said to Fox 19 in Cincinnati. Presley told reporters during the ceremony that he was with his one-year-old daughter when he struck up a conversation with Goins for a moment before an attempted robbery. When the two went into separate checkout lanes, Presley said the would-be thief made his move. I heard her scream and yelling. It was the yell that I needed help, Presley said, and I just turned around and did what I needed to do as a citizen. When a reporter asked Presley whether the suspect, later identified as a 58-year-old Derek Vaughn, was surprised to see him giving chase, Presley said that he was. He was running and looking back, and I was yelling, I'm on your ASS. Presley said, I didn't say it. I spelled it. Presley said the last from those present. Presley also said that his grandma, who raised him after his mother died, had instilled in him the values to help others. She did very good by me, he said. It was good that she taught me what she taught me, and I'm thankful for her. Presley and Goins said that they will remain in contact with each other following the awards ceremony, and we've got a dinner date, he said. He's a young man, by the way. You can see his picture on the internet if you look up this story. And she's an older lady, probably in her late 70s or early 80s. But once again, a great story where someone this time didn't just sit by and pull out their camera and film someone being attacked. They stepped in and took action. And if more and more people were doing that, we'd probably have less and less people being attacked and bullied and bad things happening to them. So, with all that being said, now it is time, drum roll please, for me to bring on my special guest, Miss Claus. Hello, Miss Claus.
I'm not Miss Claus, but
How are you doing today?
I'm good.
It's Christmas.
Christmas time and time for a carol. Except for Tiger King.
Except for, well,
He
oh,
doesn't-
right.
He does not like carols.
Tiger King doesn't like Christmas carols because he doesn't like carols.
That's right.
That was a meme we saw today, which was pretty damn funny. So, Tiger King guy is sitting in jail saying that. So, what are we doing for Christmas?
We're not doing much. We don't have a kitchen right now. I'm not cooking very much in the trailer. We're out of our home because of the hurricane still. And the kitchen that I was using was my son's kitchen, and he has COVID.
Yes,
Just in time.
just in time for
Christmas.
Christmas. This makes second time he's had COVID.
And he's vaccinated.
And he is fully vaccinated.
What's happening here? Did I hit myself right here? Look. It's on that side too. Maybe it's a shadow.
I don't know.
Maybe I need a facelift. Baby, do I need a facelift?
No, that kind of looks Oriental. I'm not opposed to you looking Oriental.
I'm just saying.
But if you're going to look Oriental, you have to be able to speak Oriental. Can you speak Oriental?
How do you know?
Do you know any Oriental?
I know a lot of Orientals.
No, not do you know Orientals. Can you speak Japanese?
No. And I wouldn't try. It would be really bad.
Can you
You
speak
won't like that?
Can you speak Spanish?
No.
True story.
True story. I'm truly not anyone that's from any other galaxy or country or any. I'm from here,
Planet Earth.
Louisiana.
Right.
I know a little bit of Cajun French, not much. Yeah.
Most of these people don't know what Cajun French is, I'm sure.
It's French, but it's
Yeah.
in Cajun. It's got a little twang.
For some reason, I've never been able to learn other languages. When I was in the military, every year in the Army, you have this thing where you all get together and you practice the basic stuff that you learned in basic training: how to put on a pressure dressing, how to treat shock, how to clear your weapon, just basic stuff like that. And when I got stationed over in Panama in Central America, they added to that survival Spanish. And there were basic words that you had to learn and know, because we were in a country where most of the people, that's all they spoke, obviously, was Spanish. And when it came time for us to do that training, when I got up to that particular station, I just walked up with my pen and my piece of paper where the instructors have to check off you're a go at this station or a no-go. And I just went, I'll take the no-go now. Just check it off, please. And they're like, well, tell us something. And I'm like, I don't know.
We did the same thing in Girl Scouts.
Did you?
Oh, yeah. We got to go to Boy Scout camp.
Really?
And yeah, and they like had how to put a tourniquet on and
Right.
how to tie knots and all the stuff and how to mark trails and do all that kind of stuff. We got like badges. Did you get a
Cool.
badge?
Yeah, I got
No,
it.
I'm talking about just for going through those things. No, you
Not for
didn't.
going through those
No,
things.
you didn't.
I got a
Did you
combat
get a
badge.
participation certificate?
Yeah, I think
Participation
I
ribbon?
did. I have a bunch of I have a bunch
that
of
where it started?
participation certificates.
Okay, so it looks like I'm looking off, but I'm really reading all the comments over here. Okay, so seriously, I am going to be smoking a turkey because the smoker is outside in the backyard of my son's house. And so I'll be doing that.
Yeah.
And I'm thinking I may make a dessert, but I'm not sure. But it's going to be one of those things.
Banana pudding?
No. Oh, that sounds really good. Would you go get the bananas and the stuff?
Yeah, if you make it.
I'll make it if you go get the stuff.
I go get the stuff.
Oh my gosh. Okay, I'll do it. Looks like I'm making a banana pudding. I'm also making sweet potatoes because those are easy to cook in the oven and doesn't need much counter space or anything. I can do that.
Cool.
So, and then we're going over to family's home and we're going to see family, and that's going to be fun.
Yeah.
And
so we're going to spend this Christmas with her family.
Mhm.
And then when my son, that's an airline pilot, once the holidays are over with, he'd get some time off. Being a low guy on the totem pole, he's flying his butt off right now. So once he gets a few days off, he's going to come down, and then we're going to go to Baton Rouge, and we will
go see your parents.
spend some Christmas after Christmas with my family.
Yeah.
Which probably won't be till after the 1st, because I'm sure they're going to keep him busy until after New Year's, at least.
Joyce, I do know that song. Louisiana woman, Mississippi man, we
We get together every time we can. Yep. We both know it. So I'm going to step over here and get a water if you would keep them entertained.
I told you that I had an extra water for you, and you said, no, I didn't want water.
Well, I got, because I already got one. I didn't need
It's
you
over there. We'll go get it.
buy another one.
We'll go get it. You
Okay.
know, I can sing and dance.
Nah, don't do that.
So now that he's gone, let me just let y'all know I have no Christmas present for him. Okay, none. We are not doing Christmas presents to each other this year because we have no place to put them. There's no storage left in the little tiny trailer that we have, and it's a nice trailer, but it is a little. There's no storage in it. So we are going to wait until we get a new home to gift each other. I can't wait to see my gift. I don't know what it's going to be yet. I think I want one of those buck stoves to go in like the living room area.
Mm-hmm.
I really want one. You can cook on it too. You put a kettle on it. You can cook right on it. There's a pizza place that you put pizzas in. You can cook bread in it. Oh man, telling you.
Sounds good.
Telling you. I want one of those. Y'all look those up. Buck stove. I really want one.
Buck stove.
Yeah.
Yeah, we've probably got one of the biggest recreational RVs on the market.
No, we don't. No, we don't. But it has less storage than the last one that flooded.
Well, that's what I was getting at.
Oh, okay. Go ahead.
If you look up,
no, don't look it up. They don't need to know. It's really
it's
not
nice.
a high end.
And
it's big, but it's not
it's
a high
big.
end. I wanted to be a little bit farther away from our special needs son, who I wanted him to have his own place so he could play his games and do whatever he does, because he's adult and he needed a little place. So he has a little place, and I have a little kitchen and a refrigerator. I wanted a full-size refrigerator in it, so we got a full-size refrigerator. But we really did lose our space.
There's limited storage space.
Right.
So I've got nowhere to hide your gifts, so I just didn't get it yet.
I don't want any gifts, and I told you I'm not getting you anything. I told the world I'm not.
Wait,
we're not doing Christmas
wait
presents.
a minute. You're not getting me a Christmas present?
You know that. I am your Christmas present, baby. I am your breakfast present, your lunch present, your dinner present, your middle of the night present. I am here. See? I'm saying I'm the present.
All right. What are you going to wear tomorrow night? Khakis?
Tomorrow night. You know what we call tonight? Tonight is Christmas Adam. Tomorrow's Christmas Eve. So our family calls it
Adam?
Our family calls it Christmas Adam. My daughter and I came up with Christmas Adam years ago, and it's Christmas Adam, and then it's Christmas Eve tomorrow.
Cool.
I know.
So if you haven't noticed this yet, in the community section of the YouTube channel, go check out this photograph I put in there. And a little story behind it. But basically, when I was over in Operation Desert Shield, Desert Storm, we would receive packages from home where people would just put addressed to any service member. And this campaign started, and it was really cool. And like literally hundreds of thousands of people all over the world were doing this and sending these packages out. And a few days before Christmas, I get a box addressed to any service member, and it was fairly light. Uh, it was about yay big or so. And I open it up, and in it was this little Christmas tree. And it was at that moment that I realized how much we take for granted at not just the holidays, but at any given time.
Yeah, we really do.
And so this word spread throughout our unit that I'd got this little Christmas tree. And so there's a picture of me and one of my Army buddies. We're sitting next to it. It's late at night. We're like in our PT gear or whatever. And there's that tree. And people were coming over from other tents, and because we're out in the middle of the, well, not actually in the middle of the desert at this point. We're a place called KKMC, King Khalid Military City, but it's still in the deserts of Saudi Arabia, but it's a base there, but we were still in tents and still living in the sand. And people were coming over to see this Christmas tree. And
it's because it was important.
Yes, it was all of a sudden, it brought you back home.
Mm-hmm.
It was a little bit of normalcy, I guess you could say, because of everything that we were going through and everything we were getting ready to do, and not knowing if we would ever go home again, if we'd ever see our family again.
We're so glad you're home.
Or if we'd ever see a Christmas tree again. But that was it was like a Christmas miracle.
Yeah.
So, but
I'm glad you're here. I really am.
Well, thank you. I'm glad I'm here too.
Yeah.
So I want to share what my parents sent me as well.
Okay, wait. No, I don't want you to share that because I'm sure that's something that doesn't belong on the Christmas show.
Well, it's funny.
Yeah, but sometimes your funny really is not as funny, especially on a Christmas show. Is that going to be the Christmas show item? I really don't think that needs to be a Christmas show discussion.
Who wants to hear what my parents sent me for Christmas in the desert?
Y'all, please. Is it what I think it is?
Watch.
Is it what I think it is?
It ain't what you think it is. All right, so here it is.
Oh my gosh, nobody says yes. Nobody said yes.
What'd they say? Don't tell them?
Oh, somebody said yes.
You don't want to know what it is, right?
Me, I do, yes. Oh my gosh, no.
All right. So I probably got the package a week before Christmas. And it was
so it really wasn't a Christmas present.
Yeah, it was my Christmas present. It was actually, they were wrapped in Christmas paper.
Your mother would have done that.
Yeah, my mom wrapped it in paper and had a card with it, Merry Christmas, and all that kind of good stuff.
Your mom did this.
So, my mom and dad did this.
Okay, go.
And it was a heavy package. Like, it was very, very heavy.
They put a brick in it?
Okay. That's what we thought. So I didn't open it up around a bunch of people. I waited and slid it up underneath my cot and my tent, and waited till there wasn't anybody around except for a few people, and slowly opened it. And in this box was a fifth of Jack Daniel's whiskey.
Okay.
And a case of beer.
Oh, well, that's not bad.
Budweiser.
I thought you were going to say something else.
No.
Oh, good. I'm okay with that.
But we weren't allowed to have alcohol over there. Okay? You weren't allowed to have all kinds of stuff over there. You weren't even allowed to have a Bible because you would offend anybody. Our host country would be offended by that.
That's sad.
So I opened it up. I realized what it was. And I thought, wow, when would I ever have time to do this? Closed it back up, slid it away. And then we thought about it. I said, well, I think I had a something I had to do, a mission I had to do right there at Christmas or right around there. So I wasn't going to be able to drink any of it then. And then it was like, okay, not only where would we drink it, but when would we do this? And who would I choose that's not going to blabber this all over the compound that, hey, Doug's got a fifth of whiskey and a case of beer. So I chose 3 of my best friends. There was a total of 4 of us. And we did this. We had no clue, none, 0 clue when the war would actually kick off.
Oh, no.
All right. And we went to at night around, I don't know, probably 9 o'clock at night to an abandoned foxhole that had been dug on the outskirts of our campsite area. And we went and got in that foxhole and we sat there, the 4 of us, and we drank that fifth of whiskey and we drank that case of beer. And then we staggered back to the camp area.
That was against the rules.
Oh, yeah, it was.
You would have gotten in trouble.
Yeah, we would.
Why do you always tell the stories that like you do something bad in them?
Because
you're a rule breaker.
Because it's funny.
See,
you haven't got to the climax of the story.
I never broke rules like this. I don't understand how people like go out and like do these things. Oh, there's against the rules. Well, that's the thing. Here's Doug. Don't touch that. He's like,
so
and he takes a picture and puts it on the internet.
So what would you have done? Would you have poured the alcohol out in the sand?
No, but maybe a little.
Long story short, before I was interrupted,
I interrupt you a lot.
We get back to our tent and there's nobody there. It's late at night and we are basically as drunk as you can get. All right. And this was not good. And we're like panicking. Where did everybody go? And then all of a sudden somebody comes popping up going, hey man, where have you guys been? We're looking for y'all. Everybody has to go over to the main talk area tent. And that's where they were gathering everybody to let us know that tonight the air war starts and we go from Desert Shield to become Desert Storm.
Oh.
And we're sitting there toasted, finding out that in a few hours the war kicks off. So what a better way to, if you're going to have something happen to you and you're going to die, well, at least you did it while you were highly intoxicated. But in this situation, what they had us do was go back to our tents and hang out because the Air Force started pretty much for 30 days, did a bombing campaign. And so it was going to be a while before we were going to come in with helicopters and start moving troops and things like that.
Shock and awe?
Whatever you want to call it.
Whatever.
So
my cousin helped Air Force.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we go back to the our tents. We put on our what's called our MOP gear, which is our chemical gear, in case they fired a Scud missile at us that had chemical weapons in it. And everybody got in that for mask on and so forth. And we just sat there. We also put on our wet weather gear on top of that because we didn't have any confidence in this gear that it was going to protect us from chemical weapons. And thank God they didn't deploy their chemical weapons that they had because we only had like one decontamination unit available for like every 10 units out there. So most of us would have died of dehydration in these suits waiting to be decontaminated if that had become the case. And so if you go to my Facebook, personal Facebook page, and you look under the Desert Storm photo album, you'll see a photograph of us in our chemical gear, drunk.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Were you?
We were. It was bad.
Look,
and getting sick while wearing this gear.
Justin says you got bombed before they did.
Yes, as a matter of fact, we did get bombed. That story, by the way, is in my upcoming book. One of many. So you just got to get a little glimpse into a chapter that's in the book. The book, by the way, is about all the funny stuff that I experienced in my military career. I don't want to talk about the bad stuff. I don't want to talk about the,
I'm thinking about
death.
doing a follow-up book.
How I survived living with Douglas Ducote.
Yeah.
Oh, jeez.
Oh, yeah. Look, let me just tell you, the secret is this.
Pixie dust.
Pixie dust. I put pixie dust on him all the time. He starts something and I go. And he stops. Sometimes. I peace and love him. I do.
Sometimes that works.
Sometimes it just shuts him up. That works too.
And there are other times when I get so passionate about something that she just like gets in her vehicle and leaves the area. So,
But not mad.
right.
We're never mad. We don't do the mad thing.
No.
We really don't. It's a good relationship.
Yes. Anyhow.
Anyway, right after the first of the year, we celebrate our anniversary too.
Yes. Wedding anniversary is coming up. My 60th birthday is coming up.
Yeah, but that's a long time off.
That's in 4 months.
Shh. I'm talking about the anniversary, baby. We're Christmas and New Year and anniversary.
And then my birthday.
Yeah, we got other stuff going on before then. There's Mardi Gras.
Oh, we're going to cancel Mardi Gras because of COVID.
No, we're not doing that. We don't cancel anything because of that. That's a fake. I mean, I know it's existing, but for real, it's cold. For us, it's cold. Yeah, it was bad, but we're okay.
Yeah. We survived it.
We survived it
that's what
several
counts.
times.
Yeah, I had it twice.
So anyway,
Christmas, Santa Claus.
the baby
So,
Jesus.
Jesus.
This is the birthday of baby Jesus. Okay, the little baby Jesus. Okay, I'm just saying that's when we celebrate it. Might not be the true birth, and of course, there's Epiphany, which is in January.
That is correct.
But right now, we are celebrating the fact that that he came. That was the most important thing, is that God gave his one and only son to us down here on earth to celebrate. I mean, to die for our sins so that we can celebrate a new life that we have.
And I thank God a lot because I have a lot of sins.
Yeah, but we're going to focus on the fact that he died for those sins, and those sins can be washed away, and you go in and you get baptized and you're born again, and you come out of the water and you truly do feel like love and light just completely permeates you. Have you had that?
Did I ever tell you that when they baptized me, I almost drowned?
When you were how old? Baby?
No, I was probably about 2 years old.
They baptized you at 2?
Yeah. And
Did they just hold you down?
It was through the Catholic Church.
They held you down?
And the priest said that
You needed extra?
he thought Satan had a hold of me, and that there needed to be an exorcist performed.
Oh,
and he
Lord.
held me under the
That's
water.
Not true.
And my dad
That's
had to
not
jump in
true.
there and pull
That's
the
not
priest
true.
off and
Don't
save
listen.
me.
Don't listen to that. That's not true.
You don't know. It could be.
I know, but it's not. He tells these stories sometimes, y'all. Seriously, he cracks me up half the time. I have no idea if it's true or not, but he does this mess. Okay, we'll look in the baby book this weekend.
Just ask my parents.
Listen, Mom has everything written down. Everything. If he had a birthday, they had exactly what he had on, had birthday pictures, who gave him what who rode the pony and who didn't,
That's
who
true.
did the whatever. And then 2 days later, if somebody came 2 days later, they said 2 days later, Aunt so-and-so came, or Grandpa so-and-so came, or whatever. Pawpaw came in and gave him, 3 handkerchiefs or whatever it is. Every single thing, and the toy train. and the whatever, and they have like two pages worth of gifts for everything. He was not, y'all, he was definitely spoiled. He was, and he did everything. He rode motocross. He did scuba diving. He did parachuting. He rode bulls. I mean, seriously, it's almost like you don't believe it's really true, because there's no way he could have done all this mess. But guess what? He did it. They have pictures and everybody to prove it, and even have videos. Those little Super 8s.
My parents realized when I was very young that the best thing they can do for their survival in raising me is to keep me very active in doing things. And so my dad got me into scuba diving, and he's the one that took me out for my first parachute job. And he taught me, I flew my first solo in an airplane with when Dad decided it was time for him to get out and let me take control of it. And you know, just all through my life growing up, you know, he had me doing things, you know. I wanted to try bull riding, and he's like, okay, you want to be a rodeo? Let's go put you in a rodeo. And about the third time I got thrown off a bull weighing about, back then, probably 120 pounds soaking wet. I was like, this is not what I want to do anymore. That hurts.
Yeah.
Same thing with motocross. I did that for a while, and I wrecked too much because I couldn't let off the gas.
Well, you didn't listen.
I had to go full speed.
You know, whenever I was a little girl, I told my mom, I said, I like two things, fast and high. And that's when they knew they were in trouble.
Mm-hmm.
I know.
Yep. Anyhow, folks.
Listen, we do
wish
know,
y'all.
we do, wait, before we do that, we do know that there are people that are still deployed around the world, and
Indeed.
we do want to wish them well, and speedy back, safe journey back to their home and to their families. And and we know that they're probably having spam and what, government cheese and some salt packets. It all
depends.
Gum. They might have gum or a piece of chocolate.
It all depends on which branch of the service you're in. If you're in the Air Force, they're eating well tonight.
That's right.
If you're in the Army, or the Marines, you might be eating an MRE. If you're in the Navy, you're doing great. You're going to have a wonderful Christmas deal.
That's right.
But in the Army, we didn't get too much excellent food to write home about. That's for damn sure.
Well,
but there are people still deployed, regardless of the fact that we pulled out of Afghanistan. We still have a lot of people, men and women, deployed all over the country and all over the world.
That's right.
That can't be with their families this holiday.
That's right. And there's also people who have lost people this year.
Yeah.
That are having very sad Christmas because they are missing moms and dads and sisters and brothers and aunts and uncles and cousins and, you know, grandmas and grandpas and children who have passed. So we want to wish them lots of love and light, and our thoughts and our prayers are with y'all. We also want you to know that while we are gathering with our family, you know, we are not exactly celebrating on high, but we are high celebrating because we know that the reason for the season. And we want to tell y'all that we love you and thank you for being here every Tuesday and Thursday for Doug and for me tonight. That's kind of cool. And
if you talk any lower, this microphone won't be able to pick you up.
Oh, y'all can't hear me?
I'm just telling you.
I think they hear me.
You got to raise your voice.
Wishing you a Merry Christmas. I'm raising my voice. Oh, not like you do it.
No, don't raise your voice like I raise my voice.
Okay.
I don't want to see that.
We won't. Well, no.
I've actually seen that a few times, and I don't want to see it ever again.
Have I done that?
Yeah, you.
A couple of times.
Yeah, you have.
Well, over the past, lots of years.
Well, the past 2 years has been a good reason to do it.
Have I done it in the 2 years?
I don't think so.
I've really tried to remain calm. I know, but I've really tried to remain calm during our storms, all of them. And hopefully we will end up next year in a real house. We might not have any furniture. We might have like a folding chair and a couple of things. But we will definitely have a place to live that is not on wheels.
Yeah. You know, I guess a message that I'd like to share with everybody in closing tonight is that yes, there are people that are going through trying times everywhere.
Yeah.
And you have no idea what your neighbor or somebody down the street's going through, or somebody you run into in the mall or at a store.
Even
Okay.
people who are smiling and happy.
We're prime example that no matter what life throws at you, you can overcome it.
Yeah.
I mean, in the past
Can
year,
endure.
we've had 2 devastating hurricanes. We've had a massive flood. We had this freak week-long freeze here. We lost a lot of stuff, and we continue moving forward. And I got the show back up and going. You know, it's not in the ideal place, but we have it here, and we're doing what we can to press forward and continue on, because the only other option is to quit.
And we're not quitters.
And we're not quitters.
No. You know, somebody told me today, STEEL, STEEL, strength to endure all endeavors of life. STEEL.
That's cool.
Strength to endure all endeavors of life. Yeah.
Yeah.
If you get stuck in the past, you won't be able to live in the present. It's a place of misery, and you need to be in a place of grace.
True.
Somebody told me that today, and I wrote it down.
Cool.
Yeah.
So whatever you're going through this season, whether you're by yourself or you're wishing that your loved one was there, or maybe they passed away, just know that you're not alone. There are other people that have gone through the same thing. There are other people going through the same things. And give everybody a chance to, don't be so quick to jump down somebody's throat if they get grumpy, because you don't know what they've experienced in life and what they've recently experienced, or what just happened to them an hour ago. And
be kind.
So I guess that's a good Christmas message, is try and be kind to your neighbor and to the people that you encounter on the streets. And look, you all witnessed something tonight that you can talk about for years to come. You can share with your family and friends. I watched Douglas Ducote for the very first time do an entire show and not say foul words. That's my Christmas present to myself.
There you go.
I did not say a single bad word.
So
I'm capable of doing it. Look at
capable. That. Okay, you know what? It's behavior. And if behavior is learned, it can be unlearned.
There you go.
There you go. Here's extra pixie dust anytime you think you need it. All right.
All right, folks.
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas to all of y'all. As always, please say a prayer for our men and women serving the United States military, especially right now, our first responders, our men and women in law enforcement that are out there trying to keep us safe, our veterans, our Blue and Gold Star families, our Angel families, and our country. We wish you all a very, very Merry Christmas.
And a Happy New Year.
And a Happy New Year. But we'll be back. We'll be back next week on Tuesday.
Yes.
As normal. And I will talk about the Christmas gift that I didn't receive.
You don't know. Yeah, you will.
All right, everybody. Take care. Merry Christmas.
Bye-bye.